Good morning, Scorpio. I hope that you all are doing well and fantastic. You guys are starting off the February reads. 12 signs in this little deck of mine that I keep to the side. And first card out, Scorpio for February. So Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. Cross Watcher, welcome to the channel as well. I hope that you, again, all are doing amazing. If you're new here, excuse me, welcome. I am Nicole. Those of you returning, welcome back. Let's see. Highlights of the year. I think we're getting ready to go into the Chinese New Year here. And highlights of the year, Spirit's saying. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what comes up from that. Thank you to everybody who's liked, shared, subscribed, commented, booked personal reads, donated to the channel. My nose is instantly itching every time I sit down to do these reads. I said it yesterday in your weekly. Say it again today. It started immediately. So, I don't know. I guess that's like the on switch, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Personal reads are open and available. That information can be found in the description box below, the About section. All right, guys, if you're here, you know how this works. Let's get down to it. Let's see what's going on for February. Scorpio, I feel like there's a sigh of relief somehow. Spirit, wrapping up on an unintended and unfinished business. So we'll see the representation to that here in these cards and what comes up in February for you all. I do feel like February is going to be a month where, I don't know, I feel like we've had this culmination of stuff going on for some time that was meant to make us move. I keep losing my voice, sorry. Meant to make us move, meant for us to make different decisions, meant for us to change our path forward. I've redundantly said, Mars retrograde. I don't think a lot of things are going to change out entirely until Mars goes direct. And I believe that's going to be in Cancer. So, that's adding some love and compassion to things as Mars tends to be a bit aggressive, right? So, I don't know, just a little side note there from Spirit. All right, Scorps, let's get into it here, see what's going on. For Scorpio in February 2025, Spirit, what does Scorpio need to know? A few too many cards there. I'm going to take a look at these and see, though. There's a lot, I just talked about that Cancerian energy, and that's a lot of creative stuff too. And with Pisces in the North Node, Spirit, a bit of the same thing. So, I don't know. We'll see. Like, you guys are it feels very quiet to me. First thing Spirit's giving me is self-respect, Scorpio, and resources. Some of you, I tell you what, whatever you're doing in work, whatever you're doing that's shining the light for yourself in whatever pursuits, I do feel like February is going to start to show you a lot of benefits to the work that you've put in over time. It's kind of like Spirit, new year, new me. I've preached to the high heavens about Aries season being the first of the year, right? The last couple of months. And it's almost like a three-part way, and Spirit saying three-part series, which takes me back to that Scorpio video that I did for you last week, and there was like all these extra messages that kind of came in with it. So, new year, right? Scorpio in human time. Then we've got the Chinese New Year, and then we've got Aries season, which is the zodiacal New Year, if I could talk today. It's a very interesting complementary way of living whenever you take those three, and it's kind of like the third time's a charm, Scorpio, is what Spirit just gave me. So it's like 2 4s again, you and your 4s, building some significant foundations, but it's kind of like Spirit, they're spilling it out again. Unlocking a master, unlocking things with a master key that you had this whole time. Scorpio, I'm hearing, like I remember saying to you before, it's like this clicking. It's like everything falling into place. This piece of this puzzle or this key, whatever, is turning and flipping. And, some of you, I do think throughout the month of February, you're going to have some challenges that could stump you for a couple of days. It's almost like when these things are coming in, Spirit using the term reactionary, but it's like, okay, there's this situation. I now have to do X, Y, and Z. Give me a couple of days. I don't even think you're going, I need a couple of days. It's kind of like you're sitting with it and then boom, you're figuring it out rather quickly. I do feel like there's this quick upgrade in energy for you this year, Scorpio, where, I don't know, things that maybe you would have let linger, things that you would have procrastinated on, things you would have let your old self, your old emotions come in and, you know, kind of hold you up in a holding pattern. Like, you seem to be moving through it a lot faster than you have. And Spirit saying that's a very strong indication of how much you have grown, how much you have healed, how much you've put the work into yourself. Be proud of that. Be proud of that. I don't know. I see somebody like sitting there, like sitting at like almost a vanity, brushing their hair too. So ladies out there brushing your hair, feeling better about yourself, looking good, reigniting some passions within yourself as well. And not just, you know, for ladies, but men, them, they. It's everybody. You know, it's all of you really finding the capacity to move past difficult situations and then finding this beauty within yourself. And it's like every time you learn to say no to something, that builds your confidence. You're like, I did it and I didn't die. I did it. The world didn't come to an end. I did it. All is well. Nobody's like, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I remember saying something similar to that to you the other day. So, you know, it's a good energy to be in, really. And, you know, Mercury messages, oh, Scorpio. Like, as soon as I seen it, I was like, oh, this has, I feel, very, very many multiple meanings as to all of the things. Some of you could be getting health diagnoses as well, just as a side note right off the bat. But it's like fighting, that there's got something to do with fighting your own inner demons as well. So you will, Spirit saying, you will move on from any challenges that may be health related. And P.S. I'm not a doctor, right? I can't diagnose, all those things. So talk to your professionals about it. Think. And I said, it's like you're restructuring a thought process and a plan here, Scorpio. And you may feel like there are still a lot of unknowns to many things. Like, I feel like for all of you, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening. And I'm going to kind of run through these cards as Spirit's giving them to me. Some of you are really going to have to dig deep on a mental level. And I tend to tell you all to stay the hell out of your mental zone and feel things, right? But I do think there is going to be points in February where you're going to have to think about a lot of things and decide what the best course of action is for you. You could have a lot of information, a lot of messages coming in regards to various things around you. It's kind of like food for thought. A lot of information, maybe all at once, to the second week of February could be a bit of an inundation of all of those things combined. This here is going to start to really change some structures for you. The structural aspect here, Scorpio, and Saturn's energy is, again, things that have not worked, needing to be innovated, needing to be changed. This Cancer immerse, if I could talk, I can't talk today. You know, and I'm going to pause for a second. This Saturn structures 6, Pallas Athena, think, a 3. It's got a bit of a warrior mode to it too, and it's like going back to the past and closing that out. That breaks down to a 9 numeral. I can't say that word today. What does the matter with me? Oh, I'm done. Put a fork in me. The day has just begun, and I am stumbling for words. But it is significant change, Scorpio. There's an end of an era here, and it's kind of like, I talk about that 3 energy, right? Like there's always like 3 things around you, Scorpio, and something specific. It's like something overlapped, and then overlapped, and then overlapped, and it's like part of a story. So as an example, you could say, I don't know, maybe in the last 6 years, you've moved 3 times. Or there were 3 certain relationships in your life. Like there was something here, could be 3 different jobs. Like it's almost like things there was the core of where it began, that process, or that way of being, or something to that effect. Then came the next one where you kind of build out from that. And then there was the next one. And it's come full circle. Whatever this is, and whatever you can relate it to, it's been about your core center of who you were becoming, or what you were learning during a particular phase. And, you know, as I say this to you, Spirit said, what was it that I started off with? Basically, like, things were going to close out or something. I forget what the term was that they gave me. This is kind of going back to that. And it's like, now that I have all of this knowledge, now that I have all of this information, now that I have done this massive amount of healing work, now I'm ready to step into this unknown, this Cancerian immersed energy where my creative passions flow. A lot of you in February could be getting a lot of psychic downloads, or just a lot of, you know, different information from your guides. Like Scorpio, like, talk about a month of just things and hearing things very much coming in. All the while, like, I don't know, I could say to you, you could be changing mortgage brokers, right? Maybe you're like refinancing and going with somebody else. You could be working with different people. Your spiritual community very much could be changing, right? It's like you went into one, you learned, I don't know, all about the chakras, and you were in that for a while, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're going down the next rabbit hole, right? Because we know, you know, you get into one thing, it leads you down 1,000 other holes here. So, and you're going to learn a lot more information. So it's like, it's all of those things. It's just everything is really starting to expand for you finally, right? And that's becoming, Spirit's calling it very bold, sustainability. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones too. So I don't know what that specifically is about, but it's kind of like this, I don't know, I don't want to call it, I think you're starting to see why people in the past, I don't know, 6 months to a year, why they behaved the way that they did. So if you've had questions around that, it's like you're weeding out certain aspects of these, Spirit's calling them dialogues that you've had. So you could be learning how to communicate better in general, like looking back upon conversations maybe you've had with your boss or a friend, family, whatever, and going, you know, I could have been a little more open. You know, I could have been a little more heartfelt. I could have been a little nicer. I could have not said some things, right? But this is all grounding you. And I said about expansion, and there's that Sag card of expansion. So it's like you're stepping into this very different spirit aspect of self. So, you know, I feel like a lot of things, Scorpio, for all of you are really going to start to shift and change. Spirit in unimaginable ways. Keys to a new home. Some of you could be moving. Thank you, Spirit. Some of you could be moving or starting a process of, Spirit, buying a house. You know, so keys to a car as well. South Node, the past. Could we get out of Mercury, or not Mercury, but Mars retrograde without something coming back from the past? South Node, number 6. There it is, Cancer immerse. We're going to clarify that before I go too deeply into that one, okay? Scorpio, you've got quite an interesting spread here in February. 2 4s, a 2, partnerships. Scorps, you will... I'm going to tell you a story, and then I'm going to explain to you why I'm saying this to you. A garden, I can plant a beautiful garden. Fantastic at it. My house plants, they will be on the brink of death before I bring them back. They're literally in front of my face all the time, right? I live in my house. And they will be damn near dead before I water them. And it just totally evades my mind. I think it's because it evaporates faster in the house, so I don't even realize it's been, 3 minutes and I need to do it again. I love them, but I suck at taking care of them, not gonna lie. As I say that to you, Spirit says to me that you will let things go to the brink of death. before you bring them back. And I don't quite know where Spirit's leading with that statement, but that South Node card. Spirit, okay, we're going to clarify that one first. I would usually go in order, but I guess we're going to go, not really ass backwards, but kind of, sort of, jump around here a little bit. What is this message about this? Let it go to the brink of death here. Five of Cups. Page of Wands, Eight of Pentacles. I could not make it up if I wanted to. The Death card, Eight of Cups. Scorpio, you may revisit something here. Page of Wands. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. The Page of Wands kind of feels like you. Like, this has got your energy written all over it. Five of Cups, Page of Wands, Eight of Pentacles. Couple things. One, revitalizing something from the past. So I don't know if you had a plan, a goal in the past, and something happened that you let it go. Put it on a shelf. Thought, you know, you'd slap some sort of expiration date on it for yourself. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Gotcha. It gives me this adage, Scorpio, of like, we assume by the conditionings that we've been brought up under. You get out of high school at 18, go off to college. By 25, you should be married. By 30, you should have kids, buy a house, white picket fence, all the things. Some of you could be 50 years old and starting over. And Scorpio, I've seen it in the comments before. I've had the conversations with some of you before. It's like, fuck. I'm starting over again at 60. I'm sick of starting over. Spirit just said, if those of you who are looking at this in the month of February do know, you're just about done with the start overs. And when I say that, it's like this one is likely to be for good for a lot of you for many years to come. Like, you are, Spirit, well established. You're becoming more established in yourself, and you're seeing this as an opportunity for growth, new properties, new projects, new ways of living, new creative endeavors. Your heart is going to be like, your heart will be replaced, or they're saying heart will be replaced, but it's like your whatever has hurt your heart, whatever has disappointed you, whatever has broken you down in the past, do know that it is going to be replaced. There's no more of this mourning, Scorpio, and I won't say that you're in victim mode, but you feel, right? You feel everything. And in that, like, you are, yeah, Eight of Cups. Like, there's been parts to this major cycle for you that have really broken your heart. And now it's like, I don't know if there's something happening, like, I don't know, Scorpio. It's like, you know, you go outside. I'm getting this whole image of, like, you got some strays out on your porch or a possum or something, and go out there with your broom and your house slippers and your robe, and you look like a crazy person, and you're out there screaming, shoot, get away, get away. You've gotten into my garbage one too many times. Like, that's how it feels. Like, I'm tired of dealing with this. There could be somebody lingering in your energy, Scorpio, that just won't quite go away. It's kind of like a pesky, you know, critter of sorts, right? Or a fly or a gnat or whatever. But Scorpio, despite that, you being in that Eight of Pentacles mode, and, you know, Seven of Wands, no tolerance for bullshit here, and the Hangman. There are things here, Scorpio, that you're going to have to let your guard down on a little bit. I don't know if you know this. It feels to me like you don't think you're in a favorable position. Or someone knows you are. Here we go. You and somebody else again. But you are. Yeah, you got that Eight of Swords crossing that Seven of Wands. The Devil, the High Priestess. Somebody here, there we go. Scorpio, somebody here knows you're getting ready to, I'm going to call it, to take flight in February. Spirit, rumor has it. some Adele, rumor has it. And when this happens, again, you're coming in rather quiet here, okay? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, Scorpio, sorry about that. I just realized I needed to do something. I was like, shoot. So, while I was taking a second there, Spirit brought up to me too that this could, just as an example, and this won't be for all of you. Let's just say you were involved in a relationship for a few years. And, you know, you said the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, going, this is what I need from you. This is what I need from you. This is how I need you to show up. This is what I need from you. And they just never fucking did it. And you're just like, I'm tired. Like, I'm done. And you finally make that break. You take that clean slate and you're just like, I'm done. Scorpio, it's likely, and I feel kind of like about this, to be honest with you. It's very likely that this person shows up and says, yeah, Two of Pentacles, Temperance. Sag energy, doesn't have to be, and says, look, you know, I've thought about this, and I shoulda, right? The shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I shoulda, coulda done these things, and I didn't know how to. Somebody around you, Scorps, could be having a pretty big epiphany. Now, I'm going to tell you, discernment to the point that if you've got some abuser or some bullshit, some, you know, constant cheater or whatever, those unhealthy, messed up things that have been going on for a long time, don't entertain it, because they're not healing. They're, you know, it's like you really have to look at the time frame in one, or for one, like all of a sudden they're a changed person, right? Like, be very discerning of this. This to me feels more like somebody, and it doesn't have to be a lover, right? Someone you've had a heartfelt connection with, but never on the same page. Constantly back and forth, juggling on, off. Here we are, there we're not. Like, you know, that whole kind of thing. So be mindful of that. This Six of Pentacles, yeah, they didn't, I said lovers. There's the lovers card. Seven of Cups. The Six of Pentacles to me is they just didn't give. It was about them. It wasn't about you. It wasn't about the both of you together, or you know, whatever the family dynamic, I want to say family dynamic is too, or was. So, you know, needing to be, Spirit saying this person needing to be responsible. And I'm going to tell you too, though, Scorpio, Two of Swords on their energy, if this is what's going on for you specifically. They still, it's like, as they're working through something here, you know, I give them a little bit of credit in the sense that if they're showing up authentically and for the right reasons, like they are trying to examine some things, but it also doesn't mean that they've changed. So this could be an unrequited love, and unrequited love is not just the person that we wanted to spend our lives with, right? It's family, it's friends. But they, again, Scorpio, you showing up valuably here to them, and they realize the value of what they're losing as a result, or what they've lost. At Spirit, after a final judgment call has been made. So some of you may not have closed this out yet, but I do think that for some of you, once you do, Spirit, mid-February, once you do, all of a sudden, it's like, hey, can we talk about this? What is there to talk about? Okay, so, you know, have you really changed? Have you done things differently? Because when they're coming out with the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Swords, that's still a place of indecision. That's a back and forth. It still feels very selfish to me. So I would just tell you, close the door on the past, period. Okay, close the door on the past. Spirit's asking me, I'm going to clarify this. This is weird. They got me doing this differently. I'm going to leave that dignified card alone. This Mercury card, I am going to clarify that, but Spirit's asking me to address your energy moving forward. Okay, so I don't know how that plays out, but we're going to see. Okay, so this Mercury card, what is this about this communication and messages, Spirit, for Scorpio in the month of February? I said judgment, and there it is. Scorpio, all of this coming after a period of decision making for you, very significant decision making. Knight of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. Now they want to come in. You could also feel like everybody needs a piece of you in the month of February. So be aware, preserve your energy. And I remember saying to you in that one weekend read, like, get your rest, you're going to need it. I think February is going to be pretty hopping, okay, in many ways. Three of Swords. I'm telling you. Reconciliation. Let me come see you. Let me come talk to you. Somebody's feeling the... Look at this. Death card again. Somebody is feeling a significant loss here, Scorpio. Pardon my pause there. Like, the devil isn't always bad. But I do think that somebody is having a, you could call it come to Jesus moment, temperance, healing. There's that Sag. So a lot of Sag and Capricorn energy here, Scorpio. You could be dealing with one of those signs. Gemini as well. There is... I don't trust this. I don't trust this for you. Whatever this is, because, like, I do think, and I don't know why this is so thick and heavy right now, but I do think that, again, like, they're having, whoever you're dealing with is having an awareness. And Scorpio, for some of you, this awareness could just be you. An awareness of yourself and your own toxic traits too, right? Like, we've all got shit. And going, I'm gonna do better. And, you know, I feel like if it is you, you're gonna have to kind of sidestep all of the things in the past and not necessarily ghost them or whatnot, but just go, I'm past this point in my life. Like, I need something more for myself. And again, that idea of starting over, right? But the thing of it is, like, if this is somebody else coming in, I would not advise you to let them back in. Because again, there's this tangoing that's going on back and forth. What else outside this situation? I'd like to get away from the situation, Spirit. I think that the collective has the message here. What other Mercury messages, communication may be coming in? Some of you, Spirit's saying health-wise, like, you're going to start changing diets and things like that. 10 of Pentacles, I'm telling you, look at this. Separate of this situation that I've been talking about for like the last 7 minutes, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, Scorpio. Legacy, life, family, achievements, foundations, partners, like, new things are coming in for you that are going to make you very, very happy. This is a building upon. Knight of Pentacles. I'm telling you, like, Scorpio, don't get caught up in your mind in February of how this is going to get done. Just do it. Whatever it is, if you're moving, if you're changing jobs, if you're whatever, just do the thing. Just move into whatever this opportunity is, because it's kind of like you're so keen on being pretty much methodical about everything that you do, like really needing to plan it out and do the thing. Like, there's no need to plan this time, like, not to the level that you're in your head so significantly that it holds you back, right? It's just, as I say that, there's the Four of Pentacles and the Hermit, Four of Swords. You're like, February, you're going to need to remind yourself how far you come. Like, you right now, or in this time frame, you're going to be your own worst enemy. Like, ain't nobody else going to come in and mess stuff up for you. You're going to be your own worst enemy, overthinking things. Okay? And you're really going to have to discern, like, what it is that you want. Like, getting very, very, very clear about what it is that you want. What else is sticking out here? Queen of Cups in the reverse. You're Scorpio, February. You need to work on your emotions. You're going to need to really dive deep on your emotions. And I'm going to tell you, for some of you, I talked about those toxic traits. That could be part of the hang up. The toxic thing within you is learning to emotionally communicate what you need, how you feel. If you had this situation back here and it was like Scorpio never spoke up about what they needed, they might just say, well, you never called me. You know, whatever it might be. Like, did you explain? I don't want to say explain yourself, but did this other person have a clear indication of what your needs were? And I'm not going to say that they weren't on the hook for things too, so I just want to make that clear as well. But were you passive aggressive about it? Like, let it go until you were brooding and seething and then blew up on a situation? Asking yourself how you communicate those things. Okay? So, like, I'm hearing, like, I don't want to do this alone. And there was something else that came in, Knight of Pentacles. Or Knight of Cups, I mean. At the Death card. I think you're having a lot of internal realizations in the month of February, Scorpio. Farmer in the Dill, the cheese stands alone, Scorpio. Some random shit there. But maybe you feel alone in something right now, right? Like realizing how lonely life can be under given circumstances, but I don't think it's what you think it is either. I hope that's making sense. All right, what is this spirit for Scorpio? See, there's something to the past memories here, Scorpio, that won't quite let you be. It reminds me of is it Patsy Cline? What was that? How did that song go? I can't remember. I tried and I tried, but it won't let me be. And then I'm not hearing the words to that song now, but I'm hearing, it won't let me be. You've got a hold on me. But making a clean break from things, Scorpio. I feel like as you're building this new life, you're hanging on to some past stuff still. Whether it's a smell, a place, memories, it's like you're really digging deep to cherish things that didn't work out in February, and you need to ask yourself why. If it was ultimately that difficult, Spirit, I was gonna say, if it was ultimately that difficult, why hang on to it? And Spirit said, because it meant something to you. It meant more. It meant more than maybe what other people were able to meet you at. It meant more. You wanted to see other people succeed. You wanted to see, jobs work out, friendships work out, people do better. You took it to heart. Other people probably showed up a bit shallow. And if they're starting to go through a spiritual awakening, they're going to get it, right? But Scorpio, it's like you got to get in there and clean out the gunk of the heart space here for yourself. Comfort. Because you cared. There it is. You cared. You're cherishing those memories. And Scorpio, I think February is going to be a lesson on commitments for you. Learning not to commit yourself to things that are not reciprocal. And I think that's kind of what you're holding on to here, is giving yourself the grace to go, I lived, I loved, I learned, I got the trophy, right? I got the t-shirt. But it doesn't mean that I have to wear that t-shirt around like a badge of honor or carry that trophy with me everywhere I go, or that I can't let it go. There may be some sentimental things too to you that you physically can't let go, maybe from a passed over loved one, or it's like, moving from a house that you raised your children in and going, this is too big for me anymore. I don't want to be in this anymore. Like, I need something smaller, something that fits my current lifestyle versus the lifestyle I had, and then making those changes to move into the next phase. For some of you, this is jobs. Some of this is a move. For some of you, it's going to vary. But you cannot hold on to the things in an old story that you've told yourself about how you wanted it to be and it never looked that way. It's an unrequited love for something, Scorpio, whether it's a person or a place, whatever. I've said, like a broken record, heart of the matter, Scorpio. Have you dug deep enough in the past month that I've been repeating that to get down to the very core of why things haven't worked within you? Okay? Yeah, something to think about. Chew on it. Think about it. Figuring it out right now. Scorpio, whatever you feel like you're struggling with, you're going to be just fine. You know, you didn't... This is like unknown territory for you, Scorpio. Like in the sense that, yeah, mystery, work. Scorpio, analytical, smart, intelligent, creative, action-oriented, goal-oriented, getting things done. And as much as you are the deepest water sign, like, your emotions are unfamiliar territory. And I think that it's been that way for a long time. It's like every time you had a bad situation or a red flag or something pop up, it was like, I will not, you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And then the next time it won't ever happen again, right? And I feel like you're in that it won't ever happen again when it comes to your emotions. So it's easier to shut things down than it was to ever put the work in, because we all know way too well how painful it can be. Okay, so I feel like a lot of this communication, Scorpio, that you're having in February is dialogue and communication that you're ultimately having with yourself and your higher self and your guides more than it is the external world. Because it's like, Scorpio, you've gone back into a bubble. You're going back in to readdress things. And I'm, you know, Spirit, first couple of weeks of February, this is what you're looking at. You got to think about it, but also know that you're going to rise from the fall. All right? Getting out of your own way this time around. Okay? It's an interesting read for you, Scorpio. One more on this Hermit, please. Spirit, one track mind, Scorpio, finances, career, putting yourself into a good, stable place. The hundreds could come rolling in, I heard. Scorpio, I feel like you're afraid you're going to have money problems. I don't think you're going to. If you're worried about how, you know, if you make a move or you make these investments or whatnot, I feel like there's a bit of a concern around this. And what I think is funny is, like, the options you're being presented with in February, there's more good than there is bad. There might be that one thing, like maybe the interest rate's a little high. You can always refinance, just as an example. But it's like, you know what it is to lose. So you don't want to set yourself up for failure. Again, a lot of thinking, a lot of communication around money, a lot of communication around security, stability here. Unfinished business. You may, if you've got debts, I will say this to you, if you've got debts from the past, you may feel like they're coming back to haunt you. You know, maybe you're working on your credit score or something like that. But also with this, Spirit is saying, like, again, if you've made some sort of investment in the past or wanted to hit a certain milestone or goal, you're not done. So you had a few setbacks. Get back on the horse, ride again. We ride at dawn, bitches, let's go. You know, and then the sunset card with this, some of you could be getting an inheritance. Some of you could be dealing with estate stuff and things like that in the month of February. That is like, oh no, I'm pouring my heart and soul into whatever this is because this is rightfully mine. So be aware of that as well. You're calling somebody out here, Scorpio. the best, Spirit's saying the best revenge is no revenge, but also, who is this? And as I say, there comes the silence card. Don't say anything, Scorpio. Something, okay, here we go. For some of you, and you'll see, this is not going to take place overnight. There's something very peculiar working out behind the scenes. Something I don't think you have any idea about when it comes to money, finances, inheritances, things like that, with this Ten of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. This could be like, I don't know, God forbid, you have a parent that passes away and you were told by that parent prior to that you were likely to receive 100 grand, example. And then someone's like, well, here, I'll give you 20. Whoever the executor is, I'll give you 20. And you're just kind of like, things don't add up. They're trying, it's almost like I'm hearing hush money. Like, I don't know what that means to you, but this runs a hell of a lot deeper than just an inheritance. I don't know who or what I've tapped into here, but I'm gonna dig a little deeper. And I know this video is gonna go a little long, 41:14 on the clock, but I do think it's necessary in Scorpio, per the usual. There will be more to follow, right? So what is this? So there's a lot of little messages. You guys are going to be dealing with a lot of different things. King of Wands, unfinished business. See, there's that Page of Swords again. Somebody may not be responding to you too. Like, they're trying to avoid an accountability responsibility here. 9 of Cups. 5 of Swords. Somebody here is evading a level of responsibility, and I feel like you're getting ready. 5 of Wands. You're getting ready to not take no for an answer on something that you need to have clarity on. 6 of Pentacles, King of Cups, the Judgment. Scorpio, whatever's happening here, and I can only imagine the in-between details, because this is more than just a run-of-the-mill, here's your weekly, monthly. This is going to run pretty specific for some of you. Others, this is probably going to have nothing to do with you, because it is so, so important. It's like you show up and say, I'm going to take action on something with Spirit, when the time is right. And then, couple things, Scorpio. There's some pushback that you're giving, and you're not being an asshole about it. I will 110% give you that. You're about what's right, fair, balanced, just. They're not going to have a choice but to have to work with you or get out, whatever that means. Now, second to that, when I said to you, like, again, well, by 40 I should have all these things done. Scorpio, you may have put some things on hold for a while, and now you're stepping back into that. As you do, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. People don't know what to do. So if you've worked towards a specific goal, and I'm not going to give your secrets away, Scorpio, you know what your thing is. It's coming. It is coming. And I think that March is going to be a pretty strong indicator of what direction you're going when it comes to those things. So whether it's a creative thing, home, family, whatever, right? Whatever it might be, it's coming. The Wheel of Fortune, the Ace of Cups, the Judgment card. I don't know why I'm getting the March time frame, but I am. And this comes after that Virgo Hermit card. It was down here. It's there again. It comes after that. After this introspective period of news, information coming in for you in February. So I got the chills the whole way down the back of my arms. My neck, shoulders, the whole thing. Buckle up. Because you don't realize what... It's like February is it's a weird energy. Like it's there, it's doing a thing, but you're also not, it's almost like you feel stagnant again. You cannot see the forest for the trees right now. Be patient. I mean, it's a weird energy that sits here today with this. I'm not gonna lie. What else does Scorpio need to know? And I'm gonna leave it there just because it's long, and I don't want to overdo. I mean, it's already overdone, but I don't want to run it too much longer. But we will, as always, Scorpio, we'll get more messages out. What else for Scorpio in February? Talent, born with features, personality. Scorpio, you're going to make good on your promises to yourself of who you are and what you've always known yourself to be on a positive level. Gravity and intuition, it's funny, as above, so below. They're flipped in the way they came out. This addictions, what's that about? Planes, travel could be important as well, too. I've seen that twice now. You're going to take a trip. Some of you, physical trip. Others of you, dreamland. Call it what you want to. That's going to take you back to the core of you. Some of you could be doing past life regressions. Some of you could be doing soul retrieval. Lots of things. Dry your stuff. Yay. And that's the mark, Scorpio. You're going to remember something that's going to set you free on the internal side. There's something about a person in your existence, whether they're a part of your world now or not, I'm not sure. But you're going to understand the why. Why it happened or why they've been there. Then it all starts to make sense. More, click, 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 things locking into place. Something very significant about that, and then comes, I said, and then comes the change. Scorpio, I think that February is a month of discovery. These new encounters, phenomenal. You are coming out of that cocoon by the end of February. It's like you're all on your own sacred journey, right? And we are in general, but this is a very significant sacred journey to the self in this last bit of change. And you realize what matters and what is nothing. When I see this nothingness card, this reminds me of like Buddha surrendering, right? Just nothingness. We're not attached to anything. We learn to surrender. It's a new level of commitment. What do I want to say to this? So this is there could be a loss, or you're handling a loss. So this could be a job. This could be a divorce. This could be however you want to perceive a loss. But in this loss, though, too, part of this loss could be, now that you have the key answers that you need in regards to a certain situation, you're able to end it once and for all. So there's something about that. What else for Scorpio with this change? What tried to come out? Roll the dice, take a leap of faith. What else for Scorpio? Guard, protect, escort, and teach. Adjust. I think this is probably the coolest card in this deck. I just love it. Adapt, accommodate, compensate, balance. As above, so below. As within, so without. I think a lot of you are healing the body in February. Healing the mind, the heart, the soul, all of the things. But there's something here specific for all of you in regards to the journey to get there. No, it's a unique energy, Scorpio. It's a little bit different than I'm used to seeing for you. It kind of leaves me going, what is this ultimately going to be about? But advice in January and February. Did you take the advice from January is what Spirit just said? Talking. And see, there's a lot of communication. I don't know what's going on with the planets and whatnot in February as far as that goes. But there's a big, strong emphasis. Mirror. And the Phoenix Rising, Scorpio. Addictions. A lot of you could be cutting. Are the sirens? A lot of you could be cutting out addictions from your life. Stopping old patterns, behaviors, ways, chemicals, people, all the things, right? We can get addicted to so many things. I'm telling you, there's some of you, divorce. Divorce. Somebody could have wanted commitment with you, Scorpio. Somebody could have tried to, like, pull you into that, and you're like, nah. All of these endings lead to very brand new, amazing beginnings for you in the long run. And I said to you on last note here, I think I have to sneeze. Oh my God. The message that I got for you yesterday in this weekly, very strong, was I'm allowed to change my mind. Look at, pardon, like, eyes right now. What's that say? Changed mind. I'm allowed to change my mind. I'm going to leave it there. Scorpio, like, share, subscribe, comment. Personal reads, again, open and available. I hope that this reading was helpful to you. We will, Spirit, we will break it down in February for you so you have a better understanding, but this is your February 2025 overview. Thank you again for all the ways you support the channel. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Sending you so much love. I will see you soon.